Hi, everyone. Hi. I am Dr. Susan Beck. That was such a nice introduction. Thank you, Josh. I'm the International Vice President of Product Innovation at Neolife, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. This is my first Neolife convention, and we're here in person. Like, how cool is that? So I just want to take a moment on behalf of the Neolife community, including the product team and the scientific advisory board, I want to thank all the distributors. We can make all the great quality products that we want, but if it wasn't for you all spreading the word about the importance of nutrition and healthy diet and lifestyle, we would just be sort of talking to ourselves. It's why I was drawn to Neolife in the first place, because of our quality products, our focus on education, and our unique business model. And I believe that every family, not just in North America, but around the world, should have access to nutrition, quality nutrition education that they can trust. And you all are truly instrumental in making a difference in the world. And from that, we all wholeheartedly thank you. So today, I gotta click this. Today, I have the privilege and the honor to introduce our new product to you. And I want to thank Kendra for this opportunity, because I'm like so excited to be standing in front of you today. But let's first start with the story about the trend behind the product. This trend is hitting the global markets with its intensity and its popularity. Now, you probably all know the difference between a fad and a trend. A fad fizzles out quickly, but a trend is here for at least 10 years, if not longer. And this is quite the trend. There's a worldwide shift to eating plants, and specifically to eating protein from plants. The global plant-based protein supplement market is currently worth $5.4 billion, and it's expected to grow to over $9.5 billion in just the next 6 years. So in addition to eating more plants, there's also a global trend to reducing animal protein intake. 54% of millennials, 34% of baby boomers are reducing their animal protein consumption. 60% of Americans are transitioning to a plant-based diet. The United Nations endorses the shift to a plant-based diet. And the reason for this is pretty simple. There's numerous health benefits to eating more plants, and people want to be healthy and live longer. But here's the question. Do I have to be vegan or vegetarian to eat a plant-based diet? And the answer is unequivocally no. In fact, the top 3 recommended diets in the US are for omnivores: Mediterranean, flexitarian, DASH. DASH is the dietary approaches to stop hypertension. The word flexitarian comes from the word flexible and vegetarian. It's the idea that you don't have to eliminate meat in order to get the benefits of a vegetarian diet. All of these are plant-based diets. They focus on fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, healthy fats, some meat. And all the benefits of a plant-based diet, we all know: reduce blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, reduce weight, and it helps prevent a variety of chronic illnesses. In fact, 42% of global consumers identify as flexitarians. So this is also a global trend. And it turns out that eating a plant-based diet with some meat is actually better for the planet than being a vegetarian. Really? Well, how do we know this? We know this because there was a global study of 140 countries, which found that a 2/3 plant-based diet with some meat was actually better for the planet than a vegetarian diet that included eggs and dairy. Also, there was a recent study in the Journal of American Medical Association that showed if we just reduce our animal protein by 3%, we then reduce the risk of death from heart disease by up to 12%. Little bit of meat, a lot of benefit. So the term vegan in the consumer mind means healthy, but not actually vegan. So eating more plants and less meat means optimal personal health and environmental health. Consumers know this. They see a plant-based lifestyle as healthy. So plant-based options are not just for vegans or vegetarians, but for anyone who wants optimal health. So with all of this in mind, the SAB worked on a new product And I'm so excited and pleased to be the one to introduce it to you today. Yeah. Introducing Neolife Vegan Protein, delicious plant-based nutrition for everyone. Yeah. And let me tell you about some of the features and benefits. We have 18 grams of biologically complete protein, and I'll explain why that's important. Plant-based superfood protein blend, 21 amino acids, over 3 grams of branched-chain amino acids. I'm also going to talk about that, and an energizing healthy fat blend, which we're going to go over. We have only half a gram of added sugar. On the label, it says 1 gram because for regulatory reasons we have to round up, but it's only a half a gram. Phytodigestive enzymes, 24 vitamins and minerals plus inositol, GMO-free, gluten-free, and there's more. Nutrient dense because it's plants, so there's naturally occurring antioxidants and phytonutrients. It's minimally processed. We use purified water to extract our protein, and we use low heat to ensure protein integrity. Low carbon footprint, it nourishes the soil. Why does it nourish the soil? When we grow plants, plants add nitrogen back into the soil. Most crops deplete nitrogen from the soil. Well, why is that important? It's important because then farmers use less nitrogen-based fertilizer. And nitrogen-based fertilizer is one of the major causes for environmental harm. So growing plants actually helps heal the environment. Also, dairy and lactose-free, soy-free, easy to digest. So let's do a quick review of why protein is important. Every one of our trillions of cells in the human body contains protein. That's why protein and the amino acids that make up protein are referred to as the building blocks of life. About 1/5 of our body is protein. We need adequate protein to build muscle, repair tissue, support immune function, and by support immune function, I mean make antibodies to fight off infectious diseases, to synthesize hormones like thyroid and insulin, and to synthesize neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and serotonin. When we don't get enough protein, we feel tired, we get sick more often, we have a hard time losing weight, our hair, skin, and nails can become dry and brittle because we need protein to make collagen. And there's 2 more points as to why getting enough protein is important. The first is because of its effect on blood sugar. Protein slows down the absorption of carbohydrates, including glucose. So if you just eat carbohydrates without protein, it kind of gives a spike in your blood sugar. But if you combine it with protein, it slows it down. Protein is a low glycemic food, and a modest increase in protein combined with a modest reduction in high glycemic foods like white bread and sugar actually leads to weight loss and improved glycemic control. Protein consumption has a significant effect on satiety and also on thermogenesis. Both plant and animal protein increase something called total peptide YY, PYY, in the blood after a meal. The idea is that the more PYY we have in our bloodstream, the more of a satiating effect that it has. So eating protein helps us feel full longer. Even a modest increase in dietary protein combined with exercise has a thermogenic effect. And get this, we actually burn more calories when we eat protein compared to carbohydrates and fat. We use 20 to 30% of our calories to digest protein, 5 to 15% to digest carbohydrates, and only 0 to 4% of calories to burn fat. So protein has a positive effect on blood sugar, satiety, and it's thermogenic. Now, let's talk about this really important concept of biologically complete protein. All of Neolife's shakes are biologically complete, but that's harder to do with plant protein. I'm going to explain why. First, let's go over the basics of what creates a biologically complete protein. There are hundreds of amino acids in our body. Only 20 have the ability to create protein, and out of those 20, we need 9 essential amino acids, and we have to get them from food. Our bodies can't make those 9 essential amino acids. Humans cannot survive without these 9 essential amino acids. And it's critical to have the right amounts of these essential amino acids in order to create a biologically complete protein. Now, egg and whey protein are the gold standard for biologically complete protein, and actually soy is one of the only plant sources of protein that's biologically complete, but not everybody can eat soy. So how do we get biologically complete protein with other plant protein sources? We need to combine plants to get the right ratio of essential amino acids. If we use food as an example, beans are low in the amino acid methionine, but have plenty of lysine. Rice is low in lysine, but has plenty of methionine. So when we combine the two together, we get a complete protein. It's the same idea with plant proteins. It's harder, but it's the same idea with plant proteins. We have to combine them in the right amounts to get the right levels of the 9 essential amino acids. The good news from a dietary perspective is that we don't have to eat complete protein at every meal to get enough quality protein. Our body sort of like takes it all throughout the day and puts it together for us. But if you're taking a protein supplement and you want to get the most out of that protein supplement, especially if you're taking it for something like weight maintenance, muscle repair, athletic performance, or you're over 50, then it becomes more critical to have the proper amount of essential amino acids in your supplement. Most plant-based protein products are not biologically complete. For example, you can't just throw pea protein in a canister and call it a day. Pea protein does have all 9 essential amino acids, but it's not biologically complete because it's low in some, like methionine. But we made sure that our vegan protein is biologically complete. We did this by blending together the different plant proteins in scientifically backed amounts to ensure the correct proportions and amounts of essential amino acids. The way in which biologically complete protein is measured is through something called PD-CAS, or Protein Digestibility Corrected Amino Acid Score. Our vegan protein has the highest PD-CAS possible. All of our Neolife shakes have the highest PD-CAS possible. So we use unique protein sources, carefully chosen for their ability to create a biologically complete protein. Peas, brown rice, hemp, fava beans, chickpeas. So our vegan protein is biologically complete, and there's also other benefits that we get from just consuming plants. There's naturally occurring nutrients such as folate, iron, zinc, and magnesium. The plants also provide potent antioxidant properties and effects. They support normal inflammatory response, and they do this by inhibiting pro-inflammatory and signaling molecules like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6. Now, I just want to take a moment because you might have some questions about these two things I'm going to talk about, and you're probably going to encounter them, in the field. And one of the things I just wanted to mention is that on our Neolife shake, we list 22 amino acids. On our vegan protein, we have 21. Well, what's the difference? Well, we're referring to hydroxyproline as a 22nd amino acid. But hydroxyprotein is only found in animal protein, not so much in plants. Hydroxyproline plays a role in collagen formation, but we don't need to eat it to make collagen. Our bodies make collagen from biologically complete protein combined with vitamin C, zinc, and copper. Both our Neolife shake and our vegan protein have everything that we need to make collagen. Also, both products contain proline, which the body then converts to hydroxyproline. Also, you might get some questions about hemp. So let's just review the hemp protein together. Hemp protein is a high-quality protein. It's rich in essential amino acids, and this is important to know. Although hemp protein comes from the same cannabis plant as marijuana, it doesn't contain any THC or CBD. Hemp and marijuana, same species, different varieties. Think apples. There's actually thousands of kinds of apples in the world, but all of them are really different. If you think about a Granny Smith versus a Red Delicious, they look different, they smell different, they taste different. Same idea. Hemp protein powder comes from hemp seeds that are non-psychoactive. And hemp protein is classified as industrial hemp by the FDA. Industrial hemp is recognized as GRAS, or generally recognized as safe by the FDA in the United States. What is generally recognized as safe? That's usually given to things that are just so common, like fruits and vegetables, like apples. Apples are generally recognized as safe, and so is hemp protein. Now let's talk about branched-chain amino acids. Our vegan protein contains over 3 grams of branched-chain amino acids, and that's a significant amount. Out of the 9 essential amino acids, 3 are referred to as branched-chain: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And they are particularly important for synthesizing new muscle in the body. The interesting thing, though, is they appear to only work when consumed with a biologically complete protein source. So because our vegan protein is biologically complete, the branched-chain amino acids will be used more efficiently by the body. Branched-chain amino acids help with muscle recovery. They help regulate the immune system. There was a study that showed that if you combine branched-chain amino acids with vitamin D supplementation, it actually increased muscle gain in elderly people with or without exercise. Our vegan protein has a very high-quality vegan vitamin D3 in it. Branched-chain amino acids, this is really interesting. There was a study on this. Branched-chain amino acids even help people think that the high-intensity exercise that they were doing actually wasn't that hard. So if we're working out hard, branched-chain amino acids have the ability to change our perception into us thinking that, it's not so bad. So, and in addition to the biologically complete protein and the branched-chain amino acids, we also added healthy fats for even more health benefits. Yes, I'm glad you're excited. I'm really excited about this too, actually. So we have high oleic sunflower oil for heart health, brain health, and healthy weight. Medium chain triglycerides for increased muscle energy as well as heart and brain health. And I'm going to talk about both of these healthy fats in a little bit more detail. So monounsaturated fats. Oleic acid is the most common monounsaturated fat. It's also known as MUFAs for short. So I'm going to also say MUFAs throughout this presentation. So think Mediterranean diet and olive oil. Olive oil is naturally high in oleic acid. And some of the other vegetable oils have oleic acid, but they're not as concentrated as olive oil. So that's why we chose a special type of sunflower oil that's naturally high in oleic acid. It has a similar oleic acid profile to olive oil. Now, studies have found that replacing saturated fats with MUFAs will result in healthier cholesterol levels. And replacing actually means using monounsaturated fats for frying. It turns out that oils that are high in oleic acid are actually heat stable, and they release less toxins when used for frying than saturated fat. And when we replace MUFAs for saturated fat, we create these larger, more buoyant, low-density lipoprotein particles, which are much less dangerous for the heart. We all know LDL is the bad cholesterol, but it turns out the smaller they are, the more damage they do by depositing fatty masses into arterial walls. So eating MUFAs helps us to create larger ones instead. Also, monounsaturated fats lead to faster clearance of fats after eating, more fat burning, less fat storage. Monounsaturated fats are associated with healthier brain function, and this is true for both younger and older adults. There was a high oleic diet study for 2 weeks that reduced inflammation in the brain network pathway of younger women, and then oleic acid has been linked to improved cognition and memory in elderly Japanese adults. And then there was this study, this really interesting study in the University of Illinois, that actually concluded that high blood levels of MUFAs are associated with superior general intelligence. I put that in quotes because those are the researchers' words. Those aren't my words. Those are theirs. What they did is they gave a group of people a high monounsaturated diet, and another group of people just kept sort of eating their regular diet. Everybody got general intelligence testing and MRI scans. And it turns out a researcher were able to measure brain activity through certain networks. And what they found is that adults who had higher MUFA levels in their blood had a superior ability for attention-demanding tasks and everyday problem-solving skills. Diets high in oleic acid also have a positive impact on body composition and body weight. There was a recent review article that looked at 28 studies on the effects of, over 33 years, on the effects of MUFA in the diet. And these studies had their participants consume monounsaturated fats in all sorts of different ways, from liquid meals to breakfast to snacks. They even had a muffin, a high oleic acid muffin. So it doesn't matter what the delivery system is or what time of day people consume monounsaturated fats. The bottom line is that diets enriched with oleic acid reduce abdominal fat and body weight. Now let's talk about MCT oil, medium chain triglyceride oil. And let's talk about medium chain fatty acids. Medium chain fatty acids are just smaller than longer chain fatty acids. They have like 6 to 12 carbon fatty acids. Longer chain have more than 12. They're absorbed more quickly than long chain fatty acids. Medium chain fatty acids don't require bile or pancreatic enzymes to be digested. They are transported right to the liver to be used as an immediate source of energy. And because medium chain fatty acids are metabolized differently than long chain fatty acids, that means that unlike long chain fatty acids, the medium chain ones don't appear to negatively impact cholesterol levels. Well, what does that mean? So long chain fatty acids are found in saturated fats, dairy fat, animal fat, coconut oil, palm kernel oil. If we eat these daily, they're going to tend to increase our cholesterol levels. But you can get medium chain fatty acids. They're naturally occurring in coconut oil and palm kernel oil, but you have to concentrate it to caprylic and capric acid, those medium chain fatty acids. If you do that, you get the health benefits of the MCT oil and medium chain fatty acids without negatively impacting your cholesterol level. You can't just eat coconut oil or palm kernel oil and assume you're getting the same benefits as eating medium chain fatty acids. You have to concentrate them. Our vegan protein has MCT oil from sustainably harvested palm kernel oil, and it's concentrated to caprylic and capric acids. That way we get the health benefits without having to worry about negatively impacting cholesterol levels. So let's talk about some of these benefits. The brain uses up about 25% of the calories we burn, but only comprises about 2% of our body mass. It's a fuel-hungry organ. The interesting thing about MCT oil is that it's been studied a lot in people with mild to moderate Alzheimer's disease. The reason for this is that people with Alzheimer's disease are compromised in their ability to use glucose as fuel for their brain. But their brain ketone metabolism is still intact. So researchers found that supplementing the diet with MCT oil is converted to ketones, which then in turn results in modest improvement of mental function in Alzheimer's patients. So how does this apply to healthy adults? Well, studies have found that MCT oil helps to improve cognitive function in healthy adults, including improving cognitive function in young adults after only 2 to 3 weeks of use. MCT oils have also been found in several clinical trials to have a satiating effect, thereby decreasing the amount of food that people consume. And this effect on satiety occurred within 48 hours after taking MCT oil, so it happens pretty quickly. Also, MCT oil has consistently been found in studies to reduce weight, including reducing hip and waist circumference, as well as reducing overall subcutaneous fat. MCT oil was also found to be more effective than even olive oil when used as part of a weight loss plan. So all of this is to say that MCT oil supports healthy weight and body mass index in healthy adults. Now, in addition to biologically complete protein, branched-chain amino acids, monounsaturated fats, and MCT oil, the Neolife vegan protein also has 24 vitamins and minerals plus inositol. We have vitamins and minerals for healthy bones, vision, immune support, hair, skin, and nails, healthy energy metabolism, and then choline and inositol work together to support healthy nerve cell transmission. So to sum it all up, the ideal plant-based protein is here. Vegan means healthy. Most people who are buying and consuming vegan and vegetarian products are omnivores. Consumers want plant-based proteins because they associate them with robust health and well-being. Biologically complete protein combined with healthy fat is ideal for supporting optimal health throughout the aging process. And before we end, I just want to say that I'm relatively new at Neolife, and I'm so grateful for working with the most amazing people, from Kendra and the leadership team to the product team and the scientific advisory board. And in my role in Neolife, I'm really excited about the future. My focus is going to be on continuing to be part of creating groundbreaking products that truly help people, and in continuing to contribute to educating people on the importance of good nutrition. And I want to thank you all again for everything that you do to get the word out to end the trend and in making a difference in people's health around the world. Thank you.